My name is Oshifesolu Larry. I'm a mechanic. Welcome to Exxon F1, also known as Formula One Colombo Africa.
Yeah, so we're going to Spa this weekend. I know a lot of you have heard about Spa. You've heard a lot of bad views about Spa because it's one of the most dangerous circuits in F1, but Spa is still one of the most exciting circuits in F1. Those blind spots, blind curves, and it makes it more interesting. And this year we remember a driver died in Spa, and 3 years ago a driver also died. But that does not stop Formula One racing from going, because that is one of the most beautiful circuits in F1, and one of the places for me I respected most because it's iconic. The Spa track was built in 1921, and not until 1924 that a motor racing was held there. It was bikes that were running there, motor GP, you know. But the first Grand Prix, official Formula One Grand Prix, was started in 1950. Spa-Francorchamps held one of the 7 races that was held in the first championship year in 1950. And for you to know, Spa-Francorchamps is the longest track in the current F1 calendar. The circuit length is 7.004 kilometers, which is about 4.352 miles. The race length is 308.052 kilometers. That's about 191.398 miles. It is a 44 lap race, and the number of times races have been held there are 78 times. The driver with the most wins in Spa is Michael Schumacher with 6 wins, and the constructor with the most wins is Ferrari. They've had 18 wins in Spa. That is impressive. Last year Carlos Sainz took pole position for Ferrari, but the race was won by Max Verstappen, that raced through the field from 14th position, I think, to win the race. And Sergio Perez came second, while Carlos Sainz, that took pole position, came third. The fastest lap for last year was held by Max Verstappen. That was a whooping 1 minute 49 seconds 355 tenths. But the race lap record there in Spa is still being held by Valtteri Bottas while he was still in Mercedes in 2018 with a 1 minute 46 seconds 286 tenths. That is massive. So like I told you, the track was built in 1921. Designer was Gilles Defay and Henry Langlois van Hoffem. It was a public road, and that's still a beautiful track, you know, and it was redeveloped in 1979. Although it has been redeveloped again, but the current calendar is having it for that 7.004 kilometers. Like I said, it's one of the most exciting races, and we can't wait to go to Spa. But what are we going to see in Spa? We've seen the McLaren performing wonders. We've seen the Mercedes with their upgrades that they brought to Silverstone doing some pretty good job, but we are going to see more of it in Spa. We'll see how it will interact with the road, because they were able to come up with a good pole position. But on Friday in Hungary they struggled. On Saturday they came alive. On Sunday again they struggled. Let's see what they will be able to do in Spa, if they will be able to turn up the magic. But still we have the Red Bull leading. Nobody can catch Red Bull. They say that is off note, because the upgrade they bought to Hungary gave them more than 2 tenths. And we can see at the end of the race, they were just out of the league. Like Toto Wolff said, it's like a Formula 1 car racing a Formula 2 car. That is Max Verstappen racing others. He even categorized Max Verstappen teammate as a Formula 2 car. That's how worse that is. You understand? It's going to be a tricky race for them over there, and it's going to be enjoyable to see what they will do. What will McLaren bring to the table, because they've been the second best team currently in F1. Although Piastri suffered tire degradation in Hungary, he was unable to keep up with the pace, while the Mercedes resurged towards the end of the race in Hungary. I don't know. The Mercedes was just out for about 40 laps in Hungary. Then the remaining 20 laps, the Mercedes was just up. That is crazy. But we will see what they will be able to do. Then the Aston Martin have been complaining, oh, tire is their issue, this and that. Let's see what will happen with them in Spa. But the team to talk about is Ferrari. Ferrari has been a consistent team of nonsense. They've been consistent with so many mistakes. The only race they did not make mistake this season was in Spain. Aside from Spain, they have been terrible. Let's see if they will pick up. And for you to know, the Alpine team has been trying to talk with FIA that they should give allowance for them to be able to tune up their engine, because they believe they are like 30 brake horsepower behind every other team. So they want the FIA to unfreeze the engine, or FIA to cut down the power of the engine of other teams, so that they can be able to race on the same level. My own question to Alpine is this: who held you down? Who told you to be 30 brake horsepower short of power. You guys should have seen it. What your engine should bring out, or the total output of the engine in Newton per meter square, in horsepower, and then torque has been identified by Formula 1. So what stopped you guys from bringing your engine to the optimum? Because the technical regulation is just there. Well, I pray Formula 1 should be able to do something about that, because they are really now knowing that they are lagging behind, that the problem is beyond chassis design. They have power deficit in which they need to make up to. And when F1 try to open up these channels, will Alpine be given the preferential treatment, or all engines will be unfreezed? And if all engines are unfreezed, I can bet you Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari, all of them would increase power. I am telling you, they will do something to make their engine more stronger. It's not that throughout the year they cannot bring upgrades to the engine, but to make it more powerful or stronger, they don't have right to it. They can only make their engine, whatever they are bringing to the engine, to make it more reliable. Aside from the reliability, they are not allowed to bring more power to the engine. So what will other teams do? Or will F1 have to raise the power of the engine a little so that everybody can come up to the same thing again, and let's see how they move forward? I doubt if F1 will do that. That will be a story for F1 to solve. Up until then, let's see what they come up with. Now, as exciting as this weekend will be, it is the sprint weekend. That's a third sprint weekend this season. Oh man, it's going to be very interesting. You know, we've had one in Baku, we've had one in Austria, now we're having the Belgium Spa Francorchamps sprint weekend. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be lovely, yeah. But I wish they can bring the tire iteration they brought last week into this sprint weekend. You know, it will be very, very interesting. They should reduce the tire again, cut it down, so that the teams would struggle through, and you know, the whole thing will change again. Now we might see a new winner at the end of the day, because the Red Bull struggled in qualifying. Though they said they had to trade their pace in qualifying for the main race on Sunday, I think that is not what happened. They were unable to get the tire set up. I think that was what happened. But you know, these teams, most of them will not come out to tell us the truth, especially when they are leading. They won't want to come out and say, oh, this is what happened, so other teams will not know their weakness. But that tire iteration will also come up in Monza this year, so let's see what happens to them. No, they have a lot of data now, they have a lot of time to learn, but Monza is a different track, it's a different dog from Hungary, you know. And also, the first winner of the 1950 Grand Prix held in Spa-Francorchamps was Joan Manuel Fangio in Belgium. That was when it was officially named the Grand Prix. And this weekend is going to be great. Like Mercedes have always said, their reserve driver is always working. Their reserve driver is just a workaholic. Any reserve driver Mercedes has is going to be a workaholic, because Friday, the guy go dey same, they work as if say he won't die. It benefits them, and it has shown how far they've grown all through. So we wish all the teams best of luck this weekend. Hope it's going to be a better race than we thought we should expect in Hungary. Until Belgium tomorrow, don't forget the cost cap issue is on, and the teams are saying no, they've not breached cost cap. FIA F1 is saying, how did the information get out? They're asking questions. Last year, how did we know before it was even much more said that some teams have breached the cost cap? F1, it is an open paddock. We would know. We might even know before you guys come to announce the teams that have breached it. Let's see. So it is just something that is going to be more interesting to see which team breached the cost cap and the punishment that those teams will be given. And if it is like another slap on the wrist, I am telling you, if it's another slap on the wrist, the way they just slapped Red Bull on the back of their hand. When I was in primary school, there's this punishment that they do give us. The punishment is, if you have offended, they'll tell you to stretch your hand. They'll now use ruler, all those wooden ruler, to smack the back of your hand. That was what they gave Red Bull last year. So if they are doing the same this year, I am telling you, even teams that are not in F1 will break the rule. They will break it, because F1 has just told everybody that they are not capable of doing the right thing, and they've been showing that since 2020, that they are very, very inconsistent. But this one, they did the right in 2021, but this one will be to another level. But I think F1 should be able to mark their scripts very well this time and make sure they don't destroy the face of Formula 1 and the marketing structure of Formula 1, because this is a great sport. But until then, watch out for the FP1 and qualifying analysis. Then the main race, you know how we get it down now. Don't worry, just watch out for it. We'll be right here to give you all the gist, all the news. We love you. Chi.
We have a new friend in the house. We are in Nigeria here, West Africa. He provides internet for us. They provide the best internet around the mainland, and I know they are still moving to the highland and they are moving all around Nigeria. But for you to get internet on the mainland, contact Fibrad Telecom Limited. They get you sorted out ASAP. The best cable internet on the mainland, fiber, I think they get sorted out. We talk much about them in the course of some of our videos, but contact them, they get sorted out. We love you. If you're a builder, if you're an art collector, if you have a showroom, Rated is the best place to get the artworks you need for your new buildings, for your art collections, for your showroom, for your exhibition. Rated Art have one of the best murals, mosaic works, and different art patterns in Nigeria presently. And it's somebody that you can communicate with, talks to you, you tell him what you want, and he will bring the reality out for you. To contact Rated Art, his number is right up here, and you can also go on social media links that are pasted right up here to check out some of his works. Thank you.